Assalamualaikum dear students, hope you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIEVS Home School. I am Sabreena Haque, Assistant Teacher of Science, National Adult English Version School, Day Shift. Dear students, today I am going to take a biology class for class 9 student on the based on second chapter, and this is our third part of that chapter. Dear students, let's just start for our today's topic. Dear students, today we will discuss plant tissue. We can divide plant tissue into three types: simple tissue, complex tissue and excretory tissue. Dear students, in your this class, in your this book, they already discuss about simple and complex types of plant tissue. We can divide simple tissue into three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, and mature types of sclerenchyma is dead. Now come to the complex tissue. There are two types of complex tissue. One is xylem, another one is phloem, and we can divide the xylem tissue into four types: trocket, vessel, Xylem Parenchyma and Xylem Fiber. Now come to phloem. There are four types of phloem tissue. First one, sheath cell. In mature sheath cell there is no nucleus. Come to companion cell, phloem parenchyma, and last one is phloem fiber. Now come to the book space. Now we will learn this elaborately. We will start from the lesson 2.3, roles of different cells in proper functioning of plants and animals. Tissue cell is the structural and functional unit of organism. The function of unicellular and multicellular organisms are performed in different ways. From the first day of advent of world, primitive animal protozoa perform all its activities such as digestion, growth, reproduction in a simple cell till today, while the multicellular organism has different organs for different metabolic activities. Now come to the first lesson of this. This is plant tissue. Today we will discuss only about the plant tissue. An ensemble of similar or different types of cell with the same origin and performing a specific function is called tissue. This is the definition of tissue. Underline this line and you have to memorize as the definition of tissue. Plant tissue are of two types: meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. The cells of meristematic tissue are capable of cell division, but the cell of permanent tissue are not. This is the important characteristics of meristematic tissue, and when the meristematic tissue get matured, they become permanent tissue. That means only meristematic tissue capable of cell division. Tissue can be grouped into three types: simple tissue, complex tissue and excretory tissue. Here we will discuss simple and complex tissue only. Come to the simple tissue. The permanent tissue which contains cell of the same shape, size and structure is called simple tissue. On the basis of nature of cells, simple tissue are divided into three types. First one parenchyma, second one collenchyma and last one sclerenchyma. Now come to the parenchyma. Parenchyma cells are seen in almost every part of a plant. Cells of this type are living, isodiametric and thin-walled and turgid with protoplasm. Intercellular space is found in parenchyma cell. Dear student, underline this. This is the characteristics of parenchyma. Intercellular space also found in parenchyma cell. This line also important for you, because in next type of, that means collenchyma and sclerenchyma, there is no intercellular space. The cells are thin-walled and the wall are composed of cellulose. Underline cellulose. When chloroplasts are present in this type of cell, they are called Sclerenchyma. and parenchyma cell with air-filled space are called Parenchyma and are usually big in size and found in aquatic plants. In the main function of parenchyma cell are to organize the body or body parts of the plant to produce and transport and store food. Dear student, when we will learn about the tissues, first one you have to learn about the chemical composition of that type of tissue. Then you have to know the structure of that type of tissue. Then last one you have to learn about the function of that type of tissue. This is the process of learning about the tissues. Now come to the collenchyma. Collenchyma tissue are a special type of parenchyma cell. The wall of the cell become thick with the complication of cellulose and pectin. This is the chemical structure of this. These walls are irregularly thickened and thicker corners. The cells are elongated, filled with protoplasm. Intercellular space may be present, and the border of the cell may be triangular, slim or oblique. Their main function are to produce food and provide the plant with mechanical support and rigidity. This is the function of collenchyma. They are found in veins and petiole of leaves. Where they found? This part also important. That means chemical structure, their physiological structure, work, and where they found. And this kind of tissue provides rigidity to the young and supple stems. That means this is also function of collenchyma. The ones that contains chloroplast produce food. That means which collenchyma has chloroplast, they can also produce food. This is the picture of this types. This is the picture of parenchyma, this is the picture of collenchyma, and last one is the picture of sclerenchyma. Now come to the sclerenchyma. Tissue composed of cell with the thickened wall with lignin for providing mechanical support is called sclerenchyma. Dear students, this is the definition of sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma, the matured sclerenchyma is dead. The types of matured sclerenchyma is dead. They don't have any protoplasm. That's why they are called dead cell. And so that is so important for you. You have to remember this for your MCQ. Come to the next page. While in the early stage of their development, sclerenchyma cells are alive, losing the living protoplasm when they become mature. The main function of the sclerenchyma tissue are to provide mechanical support and rigidity to the conduct water and minerals. This part is main function of the sclerenchyma tissues. There are two types of sclerenchyma cells, fibers and sclerate. First one is fibers. They are elongated, slender, thick-walled, and both their ends are pointed or sometimes rounded. In their walls, they may have pores called pits. Based on their origin and the structure, they are called by different names such as blast fiber, surface fiber, xylem fiber, or wood fiber. Now come to sclerate. Because of their hardness, these are called stone cells. Compared with most fiber, these cells are shorter, isodiametric, or sometimes long and star-shaped. Their secondary cell wall are double, thick and lignified. Matured sclerate cells are usually dead. The walls of the cell are pitted. In the cortex, fruit of and the seed cells of gymnosperms and dicot plants, sclerate are found. In the petiole of leaves, they may be present in the cluster from associate with the epidermis, xylem and phloem. Now come to complex tissue. We have already discussed about the three types of simple tissue. Now we will go to the complex tissue. Permanent tissue composed of more than one type of cell is called complex tissue. Complex tissue conduct water, minerals and prepared food, and this is why they are also called conducting tissue. That means the another name of complex tissue is conducting tissue because they conduct prepared food and water, minerals too. They can be grouped into two types. First one xylem, second one phloem. Xylem and phloem together form the conducting structure of vascular bundle. Now come to the picture of vascular bundle. This is the picture of vascular bundle, and this part shows this upper one is metaxylem and lower one is protoxylem, and total this structure is called vascular bundle. The xylem and phloem in together make the vascular bundle, and they helps in the carrying of food from the leaves to the other part of the body, and they carrying also the water and mineral salt from the root to the rest part of the body. Now come to xylem. There are two types of xylem, primary and secondary. Xylem develops during primary growth from the procambium is called primary xylem. Secondary xylem is the xylem grown during secondary growth from the vascular cambium. Primary xylem is of two types, protoxylem and metaxylem. At the primary stage, it is called protoxylem. After maturity, it is called metaxylem. Metaxylem develops after protoxylem, but before secondary growth, protoxylem is distinguished by the narrower vessel developed from the smaller cell. Metaxylem cells are usually larger. Trocket, vessel, Xylem Parenchyma and Xylem Fiber are constituents of xylem. Come to the trocket. First types of xylem. Trochets are elongated cell, slender and sharp end. After lignification, their lumen may become narrow, and in that case, transportation of water occurs mainly through the lateral paired pits on other walls. Thickening of walls is of different types such as elliptical, spiral and scleriform. Reticulated, this is the different types of trochets, and pitted. These are the there are 5 types of trocket. Trochets are found in ferns and gymnosperm and are also present in the primary and secondary xylem of angiosperm. Their main function is conducting cell shape to provide organs with proper rigidity. This is the main function of trochets. Sometimes they also store food. That is the another work of trocket. Now come to the vessel. Vessels are short, tubular in structure and are connected from the end to end. Vessel cells developed a long tube when their terminal walls are dissolved. Dear students, this is the picture of vessel. One vessels this side attached with another vessels this side. Like this way they make a long tube. This is how a narrow continuous channel is developed for the upward movement of cell. In their early stage of development, the cells are filled with protoplasm. Eventually, they die by losing protoplasm with the progression of their growth. Vessel wall also become differently thickened, like trochets such as scleriform, spiral, elliptical, pitted, etc. A vessel is several centimeters long. Sorry, a vessel is several centimeters long, but they may be much longer in trees and creepers. They are found in almost all parts of the angiosperm. Some advanced members of gymnosperm contain primary types of vessel. Their main function is to transport water and minerals and to provide the organs proper rigidity. Dear students, in the 4 types of xylem you can write the common function, that is their common function is transport water and minerals. That means in Trocket, vessel, Xylem Parenchyma, Xylem Fiber, that all 4 types xylems common work is transport water and minerals. Now come to the Xylem Parenchyma. The parenchyma cell in the xylem are called Xylem Parenchyma or wood parenchyma. Their wall may be thick or thin. The parenchyma cell in the primary xylem have thin wall, but those in secondary xylem are thick walled. That means primary which parenchyma primary xylem has, they have thin walled, and which parenchyma the secondary xylem has are thick walled. Their main function is storage of food and transport of water. Now come to Xylem Fiber. The Sclerenchyma cells in xylem is called Xylem Fiber or wood fiber. The end of these types of cell are tapered. Mature cells do not contain protoplasm and so become dead. These cells provide plants with mechanical support. They are present in xylem in dicots. Transportation of water and minerals, storage of foods, and giving mechanical support and strength to the plant are the main function. This is the function of Xylem Fiber. Now come to the phloem. The phloem tissue organize the vascular bundle in the association with the xylem. The xylem transport water as raw materials of food, and the phloem conduct the food produce in the leaves to the different parts of the plants. This line is too much important because this is the common feature for common function of all types of phloem cell, and the common function of xylem cell, I am saying again, the transport of water and raw materials of food. And phloem cells common function is conduct food produced in leaves to the different parts of the plants. These types of tissue is composed of seed tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. Now come to the sieve cell. These are special types of cells. Sieve cells are arranged end to end and makes tabular structure called the sieve tube. The cells are separated from each other with the sieve-like plates and called sieve plate. And the protoplasm in the sieve cell is closer to the wall, so that the hollow lumen is developed in the sieve cell. For the conduction of food, their walls are lignified. Matured sieve cell do not contain nucleus. Companion cell and sieve tubes are present in the phloem cell of the angiosperm. Their main function is to conduct the food produced in the leaf to the different parts of a plant. Dear student, if you observe, this is the picture of sieve cell and companion cell. The inside the middle portion is sieve cell, and they are divided, the two sieve cell divided with the sieve plate. This portion is called sieve plate, and their protoplasm is stay nearer to their cell wall, and that's why they make a hollow tube, and they don't have any nucleus, but companion cell have large nucleus. If you observe, you can find out companion cell has large nucleus, but sheath cell do not have any nucleus. Now come to the companion cell. A parenchyma cell is found along with the sheath cell, and its nucleus is much larger. It is assumed that the nucleus of a companion cell controls some activities of the neighboring sheath cell. A companion cell is turgid with protoplasm and thin wall. They are also found in phloem of fern and angiosperm. Now come to the Phloem parenchyma. The parenchyma cells in phloem are called phloem parenchyma. These types of cell are thin walled and have protoplasm like other parenchyma cell. They help store and conduct food. This is the work of phloem parenchyma. They are found in fern, gymnosperm and angiosperm, but not in monocot. This is too much important for you. You have to remember this. That means phloem parenchyma is not found in monocot plants. Now come to the last one, phloem fiber. Phloem fibers are Sclerenchyma cell. These long cells are arranged end to end with each other. They are also called bast fiber. The fibers of jute are such bast fibers. These types of fibers are developed at the time of secondary growth of plants. Underline this, secondary growth. Pits are present on the walls of these cells, though the phloem tissue and foods produced in leaves and stores in roots are simultaneously conducted up and down. Dear students, I am saying again, the common work of xylem tissue is conduct the water and mineral salt from root to the other part of the body, and the common work of different types of xylem tissue, phloem tissue, is the conduct the food from leaves to different parts of the body. That means you have to write this work in all types of phloem tissue and xylem tissues. Now again I am reminded one thing, that when you are learning about the different types of plant tissue, first you have to learn about the chemical structure of that tissue, then you have to learn about the physiological structure of that tissue, next you have to learn about what their main function or what their functions, and last one what they found. And come to the homework. This is your homework number 7. You have to make 5 MCQ from the plant tissue, and you have to submit on Saturday from 9 AM to 3 PM. Dear students, I have finished my today's topic. Hope you have understood. If you feel any problem, you can contact with me. Keep practicing, learn all the topics which is important for you. Read more and more, because this is the basic information and you need this in your higher studies also. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.